I like the way the rhythm makes me jump and move. I got the feeling that makes me want to do my do. Got me feeling joy. Turn my gray sky blue. And when you hear a cut, baby doll, I know you. Will feel and hug. Get on the floor, start moving some. Body start that make brothers acting dumb. And they be acting dumb from what the fuck? From the cut that play. God, I'm done. I'm done. I've had a fucking day today. Welcome. Yeah, Welcome to Nerds Gone Rogue. I got some bad news today, and I'm just forget the song intro. My name is Matthew Keel. It's episode 136. I hope I'm right.
You are right. Congratulations.
I am at _rewind on every social media platform. Moose just left us. It's all going to shit now.
Do we want to pause and restart?
Yeah, he can jump back in.
No, we can jump back. He can jump back.
All right, whatever.
No,
You do you, man. I'm trying to figure out how much it's going to cost me to replace all my games digitally.
Hey, you're the one who posted that article about dropping Canadian wolves in to kill moose.
So. I know, that's hilarious.
That's true. Okay, so
I'm starting with his internet.
Okay. My name is Matthew Keel. I'm at _rewind on every social media platform imaginable. Alongside me are my brobos. Corey Dierig, how are you, sir?
I'm great. Having a great day. I'm having a great day.
That's good. You can find him at CoreyinHD713 on Twitter, CoreyinHD everywhere else except PlayStation, where he's still the fourth Rogue Spartan.
Yeah.
Matt Phillips, Captain Canada, how are you, sir?
I'm great.
You can't find him anywhere else but here.
Right.
And
you can find me at a local record store sometimes. But
the man, the moose,
maybe a bar, perhaps a bar.
The man, the moose, the legend, at Svhenn on social media. You can find him hosting Nerds Gone Platinum. How are you, sir? Happy Monday.
Doing well.
Cool.
Monday.
We talk about video games here.
Yeah, we do.
I played a lot actually. Mm-hmm. I can't really talk about it because we said we wouldn't mention them anymore. But what have you guys played?
I played some of that Ape Out.
Isn't that game good?
That's a fun video game.
I picked that game up Friday. That game is fucking great. How far are you?
I'm not far at all because I suck real bad at it. But it's fun to throw people around into walls. Okay. I haven't even really tried to progress. I'm just throwing people into walls and having a good time.
It's you're getting that cymbal action going. That boom, boom, boom.
To be fair, I haven't played it with the music on yet because I'm mostly playing stuff when kids are asleep.
Oh, that's fair.
My wife is asleep, and headphones. A game that kind of revolves around music. There's no headphone jack in the Switch controller, dude. Been playing on TV, so. I mean, there's no reason to play it in handheld mode if I have the TV. You know what I mean?
Or maybe there's every reason to play it in handheld mode because playing it in handheld
this is the logic we have to deal with. I've got to buy a Switch, so I'm portable gaming.
I like playing.
There's no reason to portable game on Switch.
I'm gonna do.
Let's buy a system that plugs into the TV and not plug into the TV. I can just say the same thing in reverse.
I'm gonna put every obstacle possible in front of me.
What do you mean every obstacle? The dock plugs right into the TV and you slide the Switch into the dock. Is it that hard for you, Moose?
No, it's not. I'm saying for sound. All you do is undock it.
Did you not get one of those toys where you slide the star into the star hole and the square into the square hole?
Oh man, he's putting stuff into holes already. Great.
I know. He likes to put stuff in the holes. Just not headphone jacks.
That's how I got a baby.
What the hell did I join here? What is this?
Oh, this is our once a month podcast, Nerds Gone Rogue After Dark.
Yeah.
We talk about our sexual adventures.
Fucking daylight savings happened this weekend. I'm all messed up.
I'll reinstall some Leisure Suit Larry. We could talk about that.
Yeah.
Wet dreams won't dry.
They don't even use bad puns. They don't even use puns in that game. It's just dicks everywhere.
Mm-hmm. The newest game is called Wet Dreams Don't Dry.
Yeah.
Damn. So what else have you been playing, Corey?
I've been playing 8-Bat. I've been playing some Tetris 99. Dude, came in second place again. I hate this game. I hate it so much.
Maybe you just hate your skills.
Do you even know anyone who's won it?
No, I don't.
Is this a conspiracy?
It might be. I mean, I think the winner is always a fake human being.
I think so too. I think
it's a bot.
It's one of those Russian bots that rig the election.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And then they like the one time it told me I was in first place, and then I came in second. So I'm just saying, there's something happening here.
When you're in first and that magic red shell comes out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Blue shell.
It's a blue shell. Sorry,
it could be either or. It could be a red shell too, but the blue shell.
Yeah, the red shells are. So Lee Navarro's in the chat saying he is here,
and he's excited about Friday.
And apparently, he's ready for Friday.
Hey Lee, you don't know this yet, but you're hosting our PC show with Matt Phillips.
Oh, okay, great.
We kind of decided that without you. So.
You decided that without me too.
You know what Friday is.
Division comes out, right?
Yeah. It was actually playable earlier today on Xbox. Like it went live early, and they've turned it off now.
That's funny.
I love this weird trolley hellscape we're in right now. It's like games don't have release dates anymore. They just put them out. They just put them out whenever, and then and then the best part is when they put out a game that everyone's excited for, and it's like not done. Like,
we promised we're not going to talk about that game.
No, but Bethesda's been doing it for years.
No, because I subscribe to the EA Premier program on PC, and so the benefit of that is that you get all the games a week before Xbox guys get it, and then PS4 guys get it like 2 weeks later. But when I had installed Battlefield 5, so we preload it. And we were playing it 2-3 days before we were supposed to be playing it. So like you have to actually check a chart to see when this game comes out. Yeah, and like it's weird, and I like it.
I mean, it's weird. I don't know if I like it. It's definitely fascinating.
Don't get me started on this chart thing again, dude.
But
it's not that complicated.
But it's like
well, it's more complicated than here's the release date for everyone.
I get it, but people were saying you needed like abacuses to figure out when the games are coming out. I'm like, no,
that's
there's multiple release dates. There's more than one.
I know, but it's like
just sensationalism. People got to have something to complain about.
Oh, Jesus Christ!
Wow, we're killing.
By the way, if we're talking about Anthem, I tried to jump in.
We're not.
I tried to jump in one more time.
This is your fault, Corey.
This is what happened. I loaded it up. I went to launch a mission. My PlayStation, it went to that weird blue screen. I was like, okay, so I like
place where your internet just went.
Yeah, that place. It's like that room in the Matrix when you see Colonel Sanders sitting there talking to Neo about how to restart the Matrix or whatever. Except for the green hue, it's blue.
I will say this: if they're going to have Colonel Sanders, I think it'd be great if the Wachowski brothers went back and re-edited it so Reba McEntire's Colonel Sanders was in the Matrix.
They're just the Wachowskis now, Matt.
Whatever. Sorry.
Come on.
I think if we dyed Moose's goatee there, he could probably play him.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Corey, you play anything else?
Yeah, I'm getting there. But
we keep veering off, and I just want to make sure I bring it back to you.
No. I get it. Then I restarted Anthem. It happened again, so I hard shut off my PlayStation and returned it back on, and I loaded into the mission. And then when I loaded into the mission, it loaded me in halfway in, and then we get to the boss, and the boss has full health, and it just the boss just disappears, and we got a mission complete screen. I shot the boss literally twice, and we got a mission complete screen.
Sounds like a kill.
Yeah, well, I got a lot of experience and a sweet gun out of it, and I was like, cool, I'm done. Started playing more Assassin's Creed Odyssey. Killed 4 bounty hunters in the last 2 days, so that was That was a good time. They're hard, man. They're like
they can be, yeah. I've only done the first couple, and they are challenging. Yeah,
there's a guy that I was fighting before we started recording. He has like this giant spear and a shield, so like you have to like parry his spear attack, and then you have to do that. You steal his shield and hit him with it, move or whatever. But then he like magically gets another one. I'm like, where'd you get that? Where'd you pull that out of? So you just gotta like keep doing that, I guess. So I've been playing that, and then I started playing Starlink again because there's all these updates for the Star Fox stuff. So I started playing that. It's probably one of the best Star Fox games I think I've ever played. Now I know the bar is not very high, but it's really good. I can't believe Ubisoft made a really good Star Fox game, and like it's not even supposed to be a Star Fox game, but it's really good. The world's a little bare, but I think it's just because I'm in the opening hours, and I haven't really been to other planets yet. But it's really fun. The ships are fun. The digital version was on sale this week, so I just ended up picking it up. So
cool.
Starlink's pretty cool. So it's kind of all I've been playing. I've been working on a bunch of, because you know how I like to create new projects for myself.
Yep.
So I am trying to create a new look for us.
Okay.
Not that anybody out there really cares, but I care. So
hey, if you care, that's all that matters. Deshaun's in the chat. Yo, bros. Yo, Deshaun. I'm gonna go next if you guys don't mind.
I do mind. Moose,
Okay.
what are you playing?
Fine.
I'm just kidding, Matt.
I know. I had a coworker over Saturday night, and we played Binding of Isaac, the card game. Game's still really fun. I also introduced him to Keyforge. That game's really fun. It's probably I still think it's a better version of Magic the Gathering. And then we actually we went downstairs and started messing with the PS4. I showed him Galaxy and said, "Hey, this is coming out on Switch soon. You should play it." He did not like Galaxy. And that's
too bad.
Should not be your friend anymore.
Well, I
don't think I've ever played Galaxy, to be honest.
I mean, Alex is
You're
really
not
cool.
our friend either, Corey.
Alex is a really cool dude. And then we were talking about. He saw that I have Dark Cloud. He's like, "Oh, we should play that." I go, I've never played that game. He's like, "You totally." Yeah, I never have. He's like, you totally should. So I had to use the restroom, so I get up to use the restroom. I come back. He's like, "Yeah, I found something better," and he started playing. We were playing the Binding of Isaac, so we were just going back and forth. Motherfucker is really good at Binding of Isaac.
Nice. Show him Spelunky.
I didn't need to actually. He knows he knows Spelunky, and
I'm sure he does.
And we've had conversations about my problems with Spelunky. And my problem is that whenever I play it, I'm addicted to it. Very much like Binding of Isaac. But I watched him beat Ultra Greed in Binding of Isaac, and then he's like, "All right, your turn." So I get through it. I get to like Mom's Heart and die. He's like, "Okay, my turn," and he gets to Mom's Heart, beats Mom's Heart within like 20 minutes, which opens up Boss Rush, goes through Boss Rush, beats it. And I'm like, what are you doing? You're just coming over here trying to be all impressive. I'm like, I know you were good at this game, but Jesus. But yeah, he's really good at Binding of Isaac. So
he's like that guy you want to go play pool with, and he's like, "Oh, I've never really played before," and he pulls out his special cue and it's pretty
it's really funny. Like there's a guy on YouTube I follow. His name is Sinvicta, and he basically does Binding of Isaac run every day as Eden. And the only way you can beat Eden is if you've beaten the game and you get a token. And you use that token to beat Eden. So he's basically he goes to like keep his win streak. And he's won like 200 in a row. Like it's ridiculous. But I've never seen him get like a bad start in that game. So I'm not like gonna sit here. I'm not gonna conspiracy theorize about it. But I watched Alex get like shitty starts and basically beat the game. I'm like, that's more impressive to me. Because it seems like on all of Sinvicta's runs that he puts on YouTube, he starts favorably. But chances are he's just really good at the game too. And then what else did we play? Oh, we played Dragon's Crown Pro. because
game.
we both liked that game on PS3, and he realized I hadn't played it on PS4, so we played a couple levels in that, and then he asked me about Anthem. I talked to him about Anthem. We did not play Anthem. But that was fun. Then I played Anthem all night Sunday, and I'm almost done with that game, and I'm hoping to have it completely finished by Friday. So Division 2 can be all I really need to worry about for a while. I'm trying to think. Oh, also on Switch, Ape Out's really cool. We've talked about it enough. It's a good game. I just want to mention the style of that game, because as each level in that game is a record.
I'm listening.
It's really cool. You get through it, and then, or you start the game and it says side A, and you get through like four levels, and then it goes side B, and then when you finish the level, it shows you like a vinyl jacket of it's like a music title, and each of the covers look like old Blue Note album covers.
What game was this?
Ape on Switch.
Oh, okay.
It's on
a little bit of This Is the Police. I don't know if you've played that or not.
I haven't.
But you have a turntable in your office.
Okay.
And you can put on a soundtrack.
Nice. But
is there a second one coming out soon? This Is the Police sequel.
Yeah, it's out. I think it's out already.
Yeah, I think you might be right. I've seen that game. I've been interested in that game. Are you having fun with it, Phillips?
I play. Yeah, I like that game.
Okay.
It's I play it like in short kind of. It's not that I kind of sit and play for hours, but yeah, it's a good game. I like it.
And
recommend.
Probably the biggest thing that happened to me last week is I got my first win in Apex Legends.
Yeah.
Nice. And I'll be 100% honest. I was a complete passenger the entire time.
You're a survivor, Matt.
Like I get into a match, and the two people I'm with are talking, and they're talking like they seem to know each other. So I'm like, okay, I'll jump in, because clearly it's not going to be, a shit fest. And they asked me if I'm any good, and I said no. They're like, how many wins do you have? I'm like, none. They're like, oh, you're getting a win today. I'm like, all right, cool. So, and they're like, so what character do you normally use? And I'm like, well, I usually use defense, just because that tends to be the way I go. They're like, okay, here's what you're gonna do. You're gonna be Caustic, and you're also going to play as Mirage. I'm like, that's not how that works. And they're like, no, you're just gonna run into traffic. And I'm like, oh, okay, great. I can do that. I can run into death. My friends call me Leroy Jenkins. It's great.
This is why you play the tank in Overwatch.
So I would basically run along beside them. They're like, hey, Caustic, go do your thing. So I run in, and I basically run in, and I'm just 360ing while I'm firing a gun and like taking little health off everyone. Everyone collapses on me, and then these two come in and just mop them up. Like, I think one of the guys had 10 kills by the end of the match. And I'm like, all right. And then they basically, every time I died, they revived me, got me through to the win, and I felt pretty good about it. I felt like, for being a complete passenger, I definitely contributed somehow.
Oh, that's okay, man. I mean, I remember when we played Overwatch, you were like, what should I play? Remember the first time? We were like, well, this guy's got a shield. And you're like, yeah, I'm playing this guy, Reinhardt.
No, he has a hammer.
Well, he has a shield.
And he has a shield, but yeah, so I just basically put the shield on and just run.
Yeah, I'm going to be this guy.
Hey, Matt, this guy wants to go into shit. You do him. But yeah, and then also I started up Gris from last year, published by Devolver. That's a beautiful fucking game, man.
So like the point of I've been thinking about getting it on Switch for a while. It's like a world without color, and you're like returning the color to the world, right? That's like the theme of the game, and it's like a puzzle platformer.
Essentially, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I've been wanting to get that for a while, and I don't know, been buying other games instead.
I only played it for a little bit, so I don't want to talk too much about it. I'll probably play a lot before next week's show and bring a little more about it. because Tetris 99 still has its hooks in me, and I can only get second, and I'm pissed off.
Same.
Yeah.
Same.
And then I think that's all I've played. Moose, Phillips, who wants to go next?
I'll probably go next because I think Moose's will probably be more of like leading into what we're going to talk about a lot.
Okay.
So I've mostly been playing just Battlefield 5. I still really, really love that game. It reminds me a lot of playing 1942, like just Battlefield 1942, just the addiction level that I've got. It's just so much fun. I love the World War II setting. I was so happy they went back to it. I've been playing around. Typically, I usually play the 64 player modes. I like the large player base, but lately I've been doing the 32 player modes, and yeah, it's just a lot of fun. So I've been playing that. They've got some new updates out. I installed a lot of games. I didn't play any of them. When you have a backlog in the hundreds, it's sometimes hard to pick what you want to play. So
it kind of turns into that drug collection soliloquy from Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas.
Well, it's like, okay, do you use the Discogs app on your phone?
Yeah.
So the Discogs app has a thing where you can shake it, and it basically selects a random album from your collection. And a lot of times I'll do that to decide what I want to listen to. So I need something like that for my backlog. If there is something like that, I don't know. But I just installed Quake Champions again because I wanted to play that. I really miss Quake, so I'm not crazy about Quake Champions. It's got like a real mixed reception. It's kind of like it's not old school enough and it's I don't know. It needs a lot of work still, but it's free. So I played that, and I did a lot of non-video game stuff this week. I started organizing my records again and going to the new inner sleeves. I was reading a lot, so I finished a couple books.
Cool.
But
what you reading?
I finished a book called The Last Nazi, which is it's just like a Clive Cussler level thriller. So entertaining, but nothing like revolutionary.
Popcorn reading.
Yeah, it's just empty calories, right? It's just stuff to read on the subway. So that was fun. So I think I'm going to reread some of the Neil Gaiman books because I've read all those years ago. And so I want to do American Gods again. And they're making Good Omens into a series as well.
Mm-hmm.
So I've been interested in rereading that. But yeah, I really want to get back to some games this week. You know, sometimes I get out of the mood. Like I don't know what to play. So yeah, it's just hard for me to start new stuff. You know what I mean? So I'll see this week. I've got a couple things installed. BattleTech is another one I've really enjoyed. It's a mech strategy game, and so that's a really good game. I'd like to play some more of that. It's just hard to focus sometimes, so that's why I play a lot of multiplayer stuff. So we'll see. I also have Assassin's Creed Odyssey installed, and that's a good game too. I know the way Corey's been talking about it has made me want to go back to it. I've never traditionally been an Assassin's Creed guy, but that's a really good game. So
yeah, it just like I don't know. I enjoyed Black Flag a lot, but like I never really loved the series. I didn't even try Unity, and I played Syndicate for like an hour, and I was like, meh, whatever. And then they just stopped making it for a year, and I wasn't going to get Origins, but the way everybody was talking about it, they're like, man, this is like a resurgence for Assassin's Creed. I was like, all right, well, I just played, I had just gotten through like Zelda and Horizon. I was like, I'm really into this open world RPG kick right now. And I mean, not that Zelda's an RPG, but you know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I totally do.
And I was watching some videos on Origins, and I was like, I'm going to bite the bullet and just give it a shot. And that ended up being like close to my game of the year that year. I think it was like third behind Zelda and Horizon that year, actually. And it blew me away. And then I got Odyssey because I knew it was like the second in this trilogy they're making.
Yeah.
And it didn't really click with me at first, but I think I was just like, I don't know. Last year was a really weird year for me playing games and having the baby and getting everything situated and everything. Kind of got away from playing games a lot last year. And I started it and I was like, I'm not ever gonna have time for this. And then I just started. I picked it up the other day and I started playing again, and it just really clicked. And I don't even really want to play anything else. You know, I
It's
played
a lot of fun, man.
Yeah. And it's
really
like
good.
even
Oh, sorry.
oh, I was saying like I like even playing like Anthem and Apex and stuff. I'm like, I just want to go back to Assassin's Creed and keep playing.
Yeah, it's really good. Like I had no intention of getting it, but it came with my video card, so why not? Free game, install it. And a lot of the guys in the PC Gamer Discord were raving about it. You know, like there was someone who 100%ed it within like the first week. And so I decided to install it, and I was really pleasantly surprised with it. You know, as someone who I have no real opinion on Assassin's Creed. I've played a few of them, not really my thing.
Yeah.
But I was really pleasantly surprised by it. It's super fun to play. The world is gorgeous, and there's tons of stuff to do. Like it gave me that kind of Witcher 3 feel in terms of size and scope.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I really like it. I think it's definitely worth, even if you don't like Assassin's Creed, you like that open world RPG style, I think it's worth picking up.
Yeah, it's definitely not like, if you didn't like old school Assassin's Creed, this is definitely not that. And like, what I like is every time you turn it on, like every day there's a bounty board that you can go to and pick up daily bounties and do them just to do quick quests or whatever. And sometimes it's just like, go to this place and kill 5 guards or whatever, or deliver this letter to somebody. But like it's free XP every day. Yeah. So, but it's awesome. I'm like level 20 now, and I can't put it down.
Yeah, it's a very good game.
Yeah.
That's all for me.
Before we get to Moose, you mentioned books, and I wanted to mention someone I follow on Twitter, Tanya X Short, is putting out a book called Procedural Storytelling and Game Design. It features developers of Frostpunk, Overland, Caves of Cud, State of Decay 2, Alpha Bear, Curious Expedition, Left 4 Dead, Heaven's Vault, The Sims, and more. Talking about storytelling through game design. And I heard her on the Spelunky show, and I saw a sample of this book, and I really want to read it. So it's actually related to video games too. Moose, what you playing?
Oh, I'll make one more thing before we start. It's related to video games. Humble Bundle has, I just saw a new comic bundle, and one of them is the Bloodborne comic. For anyone interested. And they have a Dishonored one in there as well. So that's one of the new Humble comic bundles.
I've heard good things about the Dishonored one.
I don't know anything about either of
them. Moose, what you playing?
Lots of VR. Nabbed a VR. Got the Borderlands 2 VR / Beat Saber bundle. Ordered it like last weekend, and it came Tuesday last week. Was mainly playing a lot of stuff that you could sit and just use the controller with at first, which is a lot of fun. So Astrobot, played a bunch of that. So I'm really looking forward to platinuming that. I think that'll be a lot of fun. And then rolled into some Borderlands 2, which is really cool in VR. Like, it's really awesome, like aiming, as you look at things and stuff like that. Like, it's pretty cool. It's a lot of fun. I think it could have allowed some more, some control options, some more control options, but it's whatever. I'll probably have to start using the move controls to be able to run without teleporting. I really don't like the teleporting mechanic because I really don't think the looking is as precise as it could be. Because there's an area where you're like going up to the top of the elevator at the beginning of the game. If you remember to get the shield.
Yeah.
Well, there's like one of the Vault Hunter symbols on the backside, and like I'll be sitting there and I'll be looking up and I'll go to teleport, and all of a sudden like it teleports me to the ground, like way the hell down there, and you're like, well, that's not where I was looking. You know what I mean? So it might also be that my camera wasn't set up correctly. Visor wasn't. Like I said, I've only had it for a week, so I haven't really had a chance to like fine tune it and mess with it. Played a lot of Tetris Effect in the VR, which is awesome. It's really cool just being able to look around and like what it's hard to look around while you're playing the game because you don't
go into theater mode and just hang out. It's good.
Because like your pieces are coming down, you have to place them, but like the world around you is pretty cool, and it progresses as you get closer to completing your lines for the level. Like the beat progressively picks up, and it gets like more stuff going on around you. And then I played Battlezone. I tried the demo of Battlezone and Thumper, which are really awesome. Battlezone is going to be a game I will be picking up because that game was a lot of fun. The demo was a lot of fun, and I could see myself just sitting, me, Jason, and Jeff picking it up.
What's Battlezone?
It's like the old school tank game from Atari.
I would say it's like the 80s tank game?
It is. They remade the 80s tank game, and I will tell you this right now. I was not really expecting much from it, and I got in it, and that's one of the games I've had the most fun with.
Okay.
Like, it is a blast. Try the demo, Matt. And it works with like a traditional controller, which is really cool. So it's almost like, if you think about it, like you're just in the cockpit. You don't have to move at all because like you just move your head to like turn and stuff to look at stuff coming at you or up in the air. And like you aim normal with the right stick and move with the left. And you got a boost. L2 moves you around. And then you have your guns. You can switch from guns to the main tank armor piercing rounds. And then I think also you can customize your tank later on and put different weapons on it. I didn't get that far because obviously it's the demo, but I think the gold edition is like maybe $34.99 or $39.99 on PSN, which includes like all the DLC. So as soon as that goes on sale, I'll probably nab that.
I just looked at it now. It does look pretty cool.
Yeah, it was a blast. I did have a lot of fun with Astrobot. Like I was laughing my butt off at how much fun I was having with that game.
Oh yeah,
that game is a tremendous amount of fun. Like I was just, like, I'm sure my wife was like, "What the hell is he laughing at?" But I was just like, it was like being like, like a 7-year-old playing Mario for the first.
Those little Astrobots.
Yeah,
they are the best.
Yeah,
they're the best.
It is fun, and
when
then
you find them in the world, they're all doing different little dances. Like there's one in like the mine level that he's hiding behind a secret wall and he's just dabbing the entire time. He just dabs, and then he'll do this. But and at the same time, like he's doing that before you find him, so you just find him mid motion. He's like he's just in there. He's in there living his life. He's
right because he can't do anything else.
He's like, hey. It ain't all bad. I'm living and I'm dabbing. It's great.
Yeah.
I think VR is great for a lot of games like that. Like there's one called Job Simulator, which looks hysterical.
Yeah.
I mean, I've played it, but it looks like stupid fun.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I think the Rick and Morty game pulls a lot from that, too.
Does it?
I think it does.
I haven't tried Job Simulator yet. And then so I took the VR over. Oh, wait. One other game I played sitting down, Rez. I played Rez in VR, which is awesome. Mm-hmm. Rez is a lot of fun. A lot of fun to play. Like, it's really cool. Like, so basically to platinum the game, I think you have to have a perfect score on every level. And so like as stuff flies past you, you can turn around and lock on it and fire your missiles. Whereas in the regular game, you're pretty much done. Like they're gone past you. So it's pretty cool seeing that. And then
you get the bodysuit.
No, I don't have the bodysuit. I should get one. I should get a silver bodysuit and just wear. But and then I took the VR over to
I just see pictures of moose and just a giant aluminum foil outfit. I'm going on a fantastic voyage.
And then I took the VR over to my brother's house yesterday for my nieces to try, and we fired up Beat Saber for the first time, and they had a ball. They fell in love with it, and they didn't want me to leave to go home. They were just they wanted to keep playing. And so I played too, and it's a lot of fun. Like I said, I feel it's more precise than I hate to compare it, but the motion controls on the Kinect. So I don't feel it's as gimmicky because I'm feeling I'm enjoying. I'm not as frustrated with the games I'm playing in VR as I was with a lot of the games in Kinect.
Mhm.
So like I feel like it's a very solid technology. It's a great addition. Like if you have a PlayStation and you've got, like teenagers or people living with you or a significant other you want to play games with and have fun, like load up Beat Saber. I know Jeff was telling me one of the guys that he follows that does some reviews for PSVR was saying that like he burns like 700 calories every time he plays Beat Saber. And I'm just like, that's awesome. And I'm like, hey, I need to play that more often because if I skip the gym, I could just do some Beat Saber and at least get a workout going. But
don't skip the gym, Moose. It's a bad idea.
I'm not. No, I can't. If my weight loss was company stocks, I would already liquidated my assets and sold off the company name. It's going down real fast, so it's good.
How's that going for you, by the way?
It's going real well. I'm like right around 20 pounds, and I've hit like a plateau of like maybe like 1.5 pounds a week. So it's going.
The best and worst thing to come out of your weight loss is Slim Svhenn, as far as I know.
I know. I was like, Matt's gonna hate
that. My weight check-in was Saturday, and I've lost 33 pounds since January.
Congratulations!
Awesome.
So
Congratulations!
I shaved my beard a little bit. Like I trimmed it down, almost too short. I was like, wow. I guess when you don't have a beard, you can really see it. Because like my wife told me, she was like, "You look like you lost weight." I was like, "Nah."
You do.
That's awesome.
You got a thinner face, man.
January, 33 pounds?
Since January 3rd, yeah.
Dude, that's awesome. Good for you, man.
Congratulations, man.
That's what happens when you like don't eat garbage every meal.
Are you gonna say when you don't eat?
Well,
sometimes it feels that way.
When you're like, I don't need to eat that. I shouldn't. Maybe I should eat like, I don't know, grilled chicken salad instead of like a pizza.
Yeah,
or something. But
yeah, I mean,
I need to learn that kind of self-control.
Yeah. I mean, I've been like except for like on the weekends, like Saturday's the day I like allow myself to eat something that's like not healthy.
Yeah.
You need to do that, or otherwise you'll never stick to your diet if you don't allow yourself some type of indulgence.
Yeah.
Right. So you weigh in on the mornings Saturday?
It's Saturday, like right when I wake up.
Right, because you do that, and then I'm not saying it's a bad plan. It's actually an awesome plan because then your cheat day is that Saturday, and you have the rest of the week to be good and burn off those calories, which is smart.
Yeah,
and that's kind of what I do. Like ours is Monday, like our weigh-in's today, and so I weighed in today, and then we were driving home, and I wasn't going to the gym because I had to do some laundry before the show, so I didn't have enough time. And Kelly's like, "You want to go to Jimmy John's?" And I was like, "Yeah, I got the calories for a sub." Like it's like I didn't bank as many calories as I usually do. Like usually I'm like 1,300 calories a night I don't eat, and so but I was like, hey, at least I have the rest of the week to try and burn it off. So
yeah.
That's a smart move on your part.
Well, have you seen this game Space Junkies for VR?
No.
Phillips is like, I'm tired of talking about
that. He's like,
this is a show about video games. This is why you brought me on here to keep this ship rolling. All right, come on, man.
These skinny kids don't know how it happens.
I know they don't know the struggle. Freaking struggling with my weight loss with my weight is a video game. It's a real life video
game. When Xbox One first came out this gen, they had a game called Xbox Fitness, and so you use the Kinect, and honestly, it was really good. And there was a lot of really good workouts on it. And they talked about it a lot at the launch of Xbox. And so when I got my Xbox, I was playing it a ton. You could track your friends, and there was a bunch of people who were losing a shitload of weight because the camera would give you a visual representation of how much you'd lost, right?
Yeah.
Because you use the Kinect and you're working out with it, and then they canceled it.
Oof.
They canceled the game, and you couldn't get any new shit. They were giving refunds for people. So that was basically the last time I used my Xbox. That was 2013.
That's rough, man.
Yeah. I think it was 2014 or something. But yeah, that was my favorite thing on Xbox. I thought it was such a good use of that Kinect. And it was a lot of, I thought a lot of people were. Evidently not. A lot of people within my small circle were using it to good effect. But I'm. If you guys want, we could talk about dieting and exercising. I like the gym too.
No, I'm pretty much done.
Yeah, I'm done too. I was just giving you a hard time.
That's okay.
Not video game related. Video game related.
I played Wii Fit once and I snapped the board, so that's how fat I used to be.
Well, it's like, I'm just gonna say something, but I'll stop talking.
How do we
when
this?
look when Wii Fit came out, I had just got done playing like really terrible college football, and I weighed 359 pounds. So,
oh, I thought that was the name of a video game for a minute.
Wow.
Three what?
359.
How tall are you?
6'5".
Oh, I thought you were my height. Camera does not.
Corey's a big dude. He's taller than me, Phillips.
Yeah, but I didn't know you'd be that tall either.
That's true. Well, the difference, like I'm pretty proportionate. Like I don't look lanky at all, like most taller people do. And then when I stood next to Corey, like even Reed was like, "Wow, he's taller than you." I'm like, "Yeah, he is."
Yeah, like it sucks being short. How tall are you, Moose?
5'9", 5'10".
God damn it!
I'm not that tall.
I'm the shortest guy on the show.
Oh, settle down, Napoleon. It's fine.
That's so mean.
He's probably the angriest guy on the show too.
Who, me or Phillips?
Phillips.
Yeah, he is.
Am I angry?
He's angry. He's angry because I've got more of this than he does.
Hey man, I'll be angry at that too.
Well, see, he's
That's why I wear a hat everywhere.
He's also trying to live that giddy and I'm always yelling lifestyle, right?
Well, yeah.
That's the in Gid we trust. Anyway, so VR, been playing that, loving it. Like I said, I nabbed the VR bundle, the 2 games, the Move controllers, and the camera for like $260 was the deal that Newegg had going, and it was like $280 after tax. If you see something like that during the holiday season, I highly recommend you nab it, because I can only imagine. I love Skyrim. I can only imagine how Skyrim's going to play in VR, even if it's just like using a controller and be able to look around and stuff. So I'm having a blast with Borderlands. I'll probably play it through VR. I probably won't platinum it in VR, but I'll beat it. So
No, you got to platinum VR.
I just recommend checking out.
You're contractually obligated to.
Also, Persistence. There's a demo for Persistence, which is kind of like a roguelike.
That game looks cool.
You should check out. It might be a little. It might cause me a little bit of anxiety, but I'm still want to play it and try it because I just want to like support the medium and.
Don't get too far in Tetris Effect. I'll talk to you about anxiety.
So other than VR, I've been I picked back up Neverwinter, the MMO, the free to play MMO, because I was talking to Jeff about games we could play, and he's like, "Oh, I'm downloading it," and I'm like, "Well, shit, now I better download it." So he's been plowing through it. He's got one character level 60, and he's working on other stuff, and so I picked that back up. I got to get a character to level 60. So me, him, and Jason are like, we only play our second character. We have to get to 60 for the trophy, like when we're on. And when each other are on. And so it's a lot of fun. That game's, if you like World of Warcraft and you're looking and you're not playing on PS4 anymore, you could check it out on PS4. I mean, it's not like exactly the same, but it's similar enough to where you can like, you can have a good time with it.
It gives you that, like, it kind of scratches that itch.
Yeah, exactly.
If you don't have a way to play World of Warcraft or another MMO. You're only on console. It's good. I like it. It is a good game.
And like I said, it's free to play. I mean, they do have like, they got like a VIP type thing where you pay. I think it ends up being like $8 or $9 a month, and you get like a loot box and then like a key to open the loot box, and you get certain perks. So you could pay for that, or you could just grind and get all the gear in game without that stuff. So,
No, there's no subscription fee.
Yeah, there's no subscription fee unless you want to get like the higher tier stuff, or if you want to get better gear or just have a better time playing. I'll tell you, I invested in that because when I bought the game, I was having a blast with it, and I was like, I want to support them.
Is that a pay to win thing, or
no? It's not. It's not. Well, it might be in the PvP. I haven't played PvP, and I don't know how it works. I don't know if your gear score like levels out. You know what I mean? But as far as PvE, I felt it helped you move along a little bit better because you gain experience faster.
Okay.
So
but
anyways,
it's like Warframe in that respect.
Yeah. It's not. Yeah, I don't feel it's pay to win. I mean, it might be if you actually like look into it. I just don't feel it's that way.
Okay.
And I've been playing that. I went back to Hyperlife Drifter.
I'm enjoying that game.
I'm enjoying that game more this time playing it than I did the first time I tried it. I just don't think I was in the mindset and wasn't like processing the controls completely. Mm-hmm. So now I'm having a lot more fun with the controls with that game. So I'm looking forward to playing that. Haven't gotten back to Ape Out. I need to get back to Ape Out. And that's pretty much it. And I'll probably be riding the Neverwinter train until Division 2 launches on Friday, and then it'll be nothing but that.
Now, yeah, we'll be talking a lot about Division 2.
Yeah. So anyways, that's pretty much what I've been playing. So
before we move to the next topic, can I jump back to what Moose was talking about?
Sure.
That's okay. Yeah. So as like a technology fan, I've been super excited for VR. I've not jumped in yet because there just hasn't been enough for me personally yet to make that purchase. But I've been following it and cheering for it. And I feel that 2019 is like the year I might jump in. I think there's enough of a backlog and enough coming out that it's just in a really exciting place for me. I was talking about a couple of the VR games that I'd seen for this year. The Insomniac one looks really good. Ready at Dawn have one as well, and the Twisted Pixel one for the Explosion Man devs, that looks so good.
Yeah,
and like all these games that I'm seeing, like these, I guess, larger experiences, like more game length games, are really really making me excited to jump in. So I've been keeping an eye on prices, and it's just, I think I'm really happy that it's gotten to this place. I've never thought it was a gimmick. A lot of people thought that VR was just totally gimmicky. I think that with, like, even though PSVR is quote unquote the least technologically advanced of the headsets, it has by far the biggest install base, and it is getting exclusive titles. Like Borderlands VR is exclusive for a while, and yeah, like it's a really cheap way to jump in. And the nice thing about that is, like, with having such a large install base, is it has a cheaper cost to entry. Mm-hmm. A lot of people who want to play VR, right? Like, there is that Oculus standalone one now, but I'm really excited to see like all these excellent games from big studios too, right? Like Insomniac is a big studio, a big name in the industry. I mean, right? So for them to be jumping in now, it's super exciting. So I'm really happy with where it's at right now. And,
also, I think talking about jumping in now, there's also an improvement to the headsets. So like
there's
there's an improvement. Like Jeff was telling me about this. Like now the VR, if you buy it like a newer version, the pass through. So basically, like, you got to plug it into the PSVR box and then it plugs in your TV. The pass through is now HDR supported for like people that have that on their TV. The previous version was not. The visor is now like adjustable, like moving it back and forth on your face. Yeah. And then the headphones, now you have like little things on the side where you can actually plug your headphones in when you're done using them. I didn't even mention that, but like, it is totally immersive. Like, you're just sitting there and like wearing the headphones, having the visor on, like you're just like, wow, this is crazy. And I could totally see how somebody could lose track of time. Like, you can totally lose track of time and just be like, what is going on? So I kind of want to get Skyrim, but I'm afraid of getting Skyrim. But like you got me excited for some of the games that you've mentioned. There's excitement I have for like a lot of the games that are already out. I do agree with you. I feel like it's nice to see like a lot more developers doing like longer games, you know what I mean? Like, or more traditional time games. Because I feel like Astrobot, if you just played through it, you'd probably be done, you know, in like 10, 15 hours. And Borderlands, probably the longest of the experiences that I own. I mean, Beat Saber's pretty endless. I don't think it, you know, I mean, if you practice enough, you could probably beat it in like 20 hours or something like that. So it'll be cool to see.
There's one coming from Ubisoft as well. I mentioned a little earlier. It's called Space Junkies, I think.
Yeah.
It's a 1v1 or 2v2 shooter, basically, and it looks like a total blast. Like, it looks like so much fun, and like these are the looks good. I think I'm gonna jump in this year.
I do want to say that I've heard from our buddy Jurgen about is it Firewall? The if you're looking in
Firewall 0 Hour or whatever.
yeah, if you're looking for VR, I hear that is awesome if you love Siege, Rainbow Six Siege. Like, it is just awesome. So
I do love Siege.
I mean, I remember when early on in the life cycle of Platinum Achievements, we had a nice big VR deep dive because everything had started to come around, and we were like, it was one of those things that me remembering VR from the 90s and how shitty that was, I was definitely more skeptical about it. And then when I went to New York with Moose and tried Eve Valkyrie there, that was when I just like, okay, here's a use case. And I just kind of had to wait for the money to be right. And I'm seeing a lot of articles, and I'm actually glad these articles are coming out saying VR is good now.
yeah.
And I think it's kind of a weird. It's not. I don't want to say it's a misnomer, but if you jump in now, you actually have games.
Mm-hmm.
You're not waiting for stuff to come out. People have done good things in VR. Now, are there things that are you know, forward thinking and moving the needle? Nothing has really done that since. I still think Keep Talking and No One Explodes is probably the big one, just because it brings people outside of the visor in as well. And I think like the way that Astrobot feels is really good, but I'm more excited now for what we don't know and for what can push things further.
Yeah. Like, if you want to see, I would check out the trailer for Stormland. That's the Insomniac.
That looks great.
I think that game looks great. The Twisted Pixel one I was talking about is called Defector. If you want to look at it, and the way someone had described it was basically like, if it's in a James Bond movie and it translates to the controllers, it's in that game. And it just looks like a ton of fun, like dumb fun. And that Ready at Dawn one, if you want a more kind of not cinematic, well, I guess like story-based one, that one is called that one is called Lone Echo 2. If you want to look up the trailer for that. And yeah, like, just, you know, you're getting these cinematic experiences, you're getting stuff like Beat Saber, and like there's such a large library.
Yeah.
And I just think it is a great time to jump in. You know, if you, as Moose was saying, if you find a good deal on that PSVR, the Oculus has lots of good bundles going. If you got the rig to run it, you can get an HTC Vive. That's the best one on the market. But yeah, there's a lot of options for you, and there's big library for you to immediately start playing when you do get that headset.
I mean, I really think that as long as you're not one of those people who thinks the only way a video game can be good is if it's like photorealistic.
Yeah.
If that's your opinion on games, don't get a VR.
No. Don't get a PSVR.
Don't get a VR in general.
Yeah,
Because at that point, it's just like you want to. That's like the person who says, "Oh, I want to be in the movie, not play the
Watch
game."
Yeah.
Like you're looking for something that probably just. I don't know if it'll ever be there, to be honest with you. But
So,
go ahead.
I feel like that's one of like the only downfalls of the VR is just it's 780p. So like it can look a little rough around the edges here or there. But like once you get moving with the game, like you don't really notice it. I will say like I did notice it playing Res, and it's got like you're like flying through a tunnel, and it's just like a straight blur, when I'm sure like if you played it on your 1080p screen or whatever, you would actually see the lines a little bit clearer. So some things can be an issue like that, but like I was saying, like you after a while you just don't care. Like I don't care. Like Borderlands still looks good. It doesn't look the best, but it looks good and it's enjoyable and it's a lot of fun to shoot using using your head to like actually look at a target and be able to shoot at a target. Like to shoot where you're looking is freaking awesome. So
yeah, it's weird how perfect that is, right? Because like I mean that was what sold me on it was when I was in Eve Valkyrie and looked that way, and then I brought that ship that was up here, and that's a silly thing. And Deshaun's in the chat. He said he bought a PSVR Thanksgiving. Moss, Astrobot, and Batman are all good.
But enough about VR, which I recommend you also check out Best Buy. Best Buy runs, I think they're still running, like they're testing it. So you can
I think they still have demos.
Check the VR demo at Best Buy. Check it out. I'm sure they're running one of the better discs. Like the demo disc 3 is awesome because it's got the battle zone I was talking about, the tank game. It's got Astrobot on it. I don't think it has Beat Saber because obviously they're not going to set up, unless they do set up the move for you to use the Beat Saber, because that'd be crazy to try and have people not like knock each other out. But
it's a busy Sunday at a Best Buy and people that play.
That'd be crazy.
Oh, God.
You can't talk about playing video games in a Best Buy without making me think of the South Park World of Warcraft episode. If you haven't watched that, you have to
Sword
watch
of a Thousand Truths.
Oh, you have to watch that if you haven't.
How do you give somebody an item you're carrying? You got to open your inventory, Control I. Okay. Oh my gosh, that episode is like one of the best.
Out here, I am Randy the geologist, but in here, I am defender of the Alliance.
Looks like that guy just killed you. Looks like that guy just killed you.
All right.
What?
We'll do a special episode where we watch that episode live together.
Hell yeah.
That'd be amazing.
Now we get to play the game.
It's so funny. It's so funny when Butter shows up and he's the same character as Cartman. Butters, what are you doing? How about World of Warcraft, like you said? Everybody knows I'm the dwarf character. Pick another one. Yeah, I like Hello Kitty.
I just love when they're like in that little meeting. He's like, I'm not playing World of Warcraft. Butters, you're on your computer every night. Yeah, but I'm playing Hello Kitty Island Adventure.
Butters, go to the store and buy World of Warcraft.
And join the online sensation before we fucking murder you. Or then that guy. Oh wait, no, that's the Lord of the Rings one where the guy shows up dressed like a stormtrooper. Anyway, last week we did 20 questions, and we were able to answer one question, but not the 3 that we had. So we've got 2 left over. Guys, game?
Sure.
Yeah, let's do it.
Cool. Sam Hall. This is gonna be preferences around the table here. Do you prefer crunchy or soft tacos? Do you prefer hand tossed, deep dish, or thin crust pizza? And do you prefer cake or pie?
Crunchy tacos.
Crunchy, pie, and deep dish.
Good man.
Like that.
So Corey. Okay, Moose, go ahead.
Sorry, go ahead, Corey.
No. Well, Corey started. That's the only reason why I was going to him next, because he said crunchy tacos.
You need time. I've got my answers.
I had to jump in. I'm sorry I got aggressive, but I get excited about food.
No,
crunchy tacos. A good crunchy taco is the best taco.
Mm-hmm.
What was the second one?
Do you prefer hand tossed, deep dish, or thin crust pizza?
Now this is where it gets difficult because New York style pizza has ruined all pizza for me.
Yeah,
like going to New York and getting pizza has ruined all their pizza for me. So like I don't mind a good like crappy pizza, but like it's never the same. It will never be the same until we go back to New York.
I'm going to ask the dumb question. What's the difference between hand tossed and thin?
Thin crust is like a cracker.
Yeah, it's like
a cracker. It's like
why even bother?
Yeah,
pretty much.
And hand toss is just like when you see them like
it's like a New York
throwing it up in the air and just like.
No, I know that, but like I know what I know.
If you're gonna cheat on your diet, you're gonna have something unhealthy. You got to go big. Like you go for the deep dish.
Right.
You go for
Like
what's the point? I want a thin crust pizza. No.
Well, like
when I pick it up, I want to see the juice dripping off.
Well, like real deep dish and like Domino style deep dish are like two totally different things too. And it's like if you get Chicago style deep dish, it's like a real like pie crust with the filling like inside.
Yeah,
and it's like
great.
I almost think of like Pizza Hut, like their deep dish or their pan dish, almost like a Sicilian style pizza.
You know what we just got up here? I've never had it. Is Papa John's? Is that any good?
Oh
no, it's garbage.
No, it's garbage.
Garbage.
Man.
No. Is that why you gave it?
They put the toppings under the cheese. What kind of animal does that?
Is that a real thing, or are you just trolling me?
No, I'm being dead serious.
Pizza.
It's bad.
From the problematic ownership to actually the product being shit.
I don't know. Paid Manning's pretty good.
Domino's is better. If you're gonna go like
if you're gonna have garbage
you're better off. You're better off just going to the mom and pops.
There's a place by our house called Mr. G's, and it's like they sell like their large pizzas, like a 20-inch pizza, and it's just like it's so good. Oh, it's so good. And like if you tell them to leave it in the oven just a little bit longer, oh my gosh, so good.
Now I'm gonna go back to the tacos thing for a second because I have a caveat. Crunchy is my preference, but if it's fish tacos, I like soft.
Okay, I can.
Yeah. A good like spicy shrimp taco and a soft shell. Oh, it's really
like
good
that is delicious. I that's the only case where I would pick the soft shell over the hard shell.
All right.
Moose, your preferences?
Well, did Corey do cake or pie? I don't think you did cake or pie.
I don't like pie, so cake.
Cake. Okay. I'm gonna go soft tacos. Just because, like, if I get tacos out at a restaurant, it'll be like fish. Like, I'll go with a fish taco, and like, I agree with Matt 100%. A good fish taco has a soft shell. I do like Taco Bell's hard shells wrapped with the refried beans in between.
Like the double decker.
Oh yeah. Yeah, the crunch wrap. Oh yeah,
or the cheesy gordita crunch is also a fantastic.
So I can go
best of both worlds. Right
exactly.
there.
It's the best of both worlds. You can get that.
That
pizza,
sauce that they put on there, it's so good.
If I could only pick one to eat for the rest of my life, I'd go hand toss. I would just go hand toss because it's so good. And then pie or cake. I'm gonna go with pie. Sour cream is delicious. Apple pie is really good. I like pumpkin pie. Pumpkin pie is my favorite seasonal pie. So
lemon meringue's really good.
Yeah. Oh, God, quit making me hungry.
Like pumpkin pie. When I hear someone say they don't like pumpkin pie, it's like, what? Give it to me then.
Yeah, right? Exactly.
I'm fine with that because I'll have yours.
You can have all the pie.
I don't like pumpkin pie. Well, this blows my weekend because now I have to eat yours. So for me, I'm the outlier, and I prefer soft shell tacos. Of all shapes and sizes, I don't like fish, so I never eat fish tacos. And then for pizza, I'm split between hand tossed and Chicago style.
You only pick one.
I know. I'm going through my thought process here, Moose. So I'm actually going to go with Chicago style, because no matter how much extra pepperoni you put on a hand toss, you'll never get as much as you'll get in Chicago style.
Okay, I can respect that decision.
And then I am a pie person because cheesecake's a pie. And also, fun fact, you can get meals as pie. So you can get like your savory and your sweet in a pie.
That's kind of cheap.
Because there are chicken pot pies. There are turkey pies.
Shepherd's pie.
Shepherd's pie. I mean, yeah. Pie,
it's
fuck cake. Am I right?
It's basically just in a pie dish, but it's still a pie.
Yeah.
You know?
And pizza's a motherfucking pie, all right? All right?
It's true. It's true.
I got a little aggressive. Didn't need
You
to.
did.
I was gonna say, yeah, man. Nobody's fighting you, Matt.
Man,
It's been a weird day for me.
Man.
He's like ready to get into the octagon, and we're all like, dude, no one's fighting.
I know this is like last week when he was. What was he talking about last week? Where he got super aggressive and we were just listening. I think you were talking about Tetris last week, and you started like trying to fight us, and I was like, we were all like, whoa.
We're all just like, we're just listening, dude. Everybody's.
I just like that. I like that my sister shares that episode, and it's the one where I'm just inextricably angry for no reason. Great. I need that stereotype reinforced with my family. Fantastic. So Sam, thank you for your question as always. Thank you for writing in. Next,
yes, Sam, thank you.
Nerds Gone Rogue favorite, Casey McHale.
All right,
hey guys. How do you feel about previews and pre-release content in general? Do you feel some preview content does a disservice to some games because of day one patches and massive DLC drops that improve the game later down the line?
This has always been a weird kind of, the preview of games, because so often...
I'm going to interrupt you, Phillips. Deshaun just asked, when y'all giving away Sekiro? We will announce that on next week's show. That will be announced live next week. But
I didn't know it was live during the show. That's awesome.
Yeah, next week we're announcing the winner live, and then the way to enter is at the beginning of the podcast. So, continue, Philip. Sorry to interrupt.
Oh, it's okay. I was gonna say that like previews are tricky because so often it's not necessarily that they do a disservice to the game. I feel they often don't even accurately represent the product that we end up getting. I mean, I'm not saying that developers do this maliciously or whatnot, but you can look at games like, we were talking about Anthem or Division 1, or like there's all these Watch Dogs. There's all these games that had early previews and trailers and E3 showings, and those showings ended up being nothing. Like they ended up being much better looking than the game we got, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, it's a weird thing. I actually like going back and looking at previews for games that are already out, so I can see kind of. It's just a weird interest I have. Like I'll read an old issue of PC Gamer or something, and it has a preview for a game, and I think that doing it is difficult because you have to get people interested in your upcoming title without showing too much. So sometimes they'll create content like a vertical slice just to show off, and it's I don't know if disservice is the right word. I mean, I think everybody would want to be super excited for a game and find that the previews were like that the game is way better than the previews, right? You know what I mean? So I think I don't know. I think showing previews for games, I think it's a lot harder than us, the kind of armchair critics, think. You know what I mean? To come up with this E3 segment that makes everyone excited for your game. I think Sony's done a really good job with it personally, coming up with vertical slices for their titles. But yeah, it's weird. Like I think some previews are completely off from what the actual product ends up being. And I don't know if that's on purpose or money becomes an issue, time. So
the way I go about this is, and I think this is just how I've always looked at it. It's all a fucking sales pitch, man.
Oh yeah.
You're in the market for a car. You go into a car lot. That salesperson is going to tell you everything they can to get you into that car that you're looking at.
Yeah.
Now, the minute you drive it off the lot, some shit's going to happen. Is that salesperson's fault? Not really, unless it's like a used car. And I mean, there are ways to analyze that, but E3, vertical slices, all of that is to generate excitement, both on our behalf and on the behalf of the shareholders, the people that are putting money into those companies. Mm-hmm. Now, where it gets bad is when, like, I feel like the Aliens Colonial Marines thing is the easy one to bring up nowadays.
Yeah.
People bring up Dark Souls 2 in that just because that was a definite downgrade, but also that game was not changed from when they announced. In fact, From Software, I think, came out and said the torch mechanic was actually kind of too unforgiving for them. So they wanted to basically make sure people could not safely, but like could get through the game without fucking killing themselves. And then
I think there's some that definitely deliberately mislead people. Sony
definitely
was guilty of this with Resistance. Well, no, not Resistance. Killzone.
It was Killzone.
That one was just completely misleading. And then I think there's other ones. So with Crackdown 3, for example, some of the early previews, they were showing the destruction. And one of the developers was shooting at a wall and showing how you could shoot out a shape in the wall. Mm-hmm. And that once you removed all that material, that piece of the wall would fall out and everything. And then they show the final game, and the destruction level is nowhere near what they showed in those early previews. Mm-hmm. Was that on purpose or designed to mislead you? I don't know, but it's certainly not. Like the preview was way more advanced than what the end of product ended up being.
Yeah, I mean, Phil Spencer did come out and say that tech they scaled it back and they shouldn't have shown it because that was not a it wasn't the message that he wanted to send about that game. And I think he came out and apologized about how Crackdown showed originally versus what came out. But
I'm not picking on Crackdown.
I know.
Example of where a game is previewed and it looks amazing. They show this incredible tech, and then the final product ends up being nowhere near what they showed, right? So
yeah.
Well, I mean, and then you could bring up No Man's Sky too.
Oh my gosh, the Jurassic Park trailer is hilarious.
Yeah, but I mean, but see, No Man's Sky is a weird one. Not only because it was mismessaged by Hello Games. Because basically, it was mismessaged. I don't think maliciously. I don't think they came out and said, yeah, if we tell them that it's going to have all this, everybody will buy our game, and then we could just lie to them. I think all of the stuff that Sean Murray said was in the game, he wanted it. But then trying to make that happen in a reasonable time for a publisher
didn't work.
It didn't work out.
Peter Molyneux is guilty of that as well.
Yeah,
he invented it.
He's next. He's next. I feel like Peter Molyneux is the next evolution of the No Man's Sky thing. But also man, you distracted me. I got all.
Oh, I'm sorry. No Man's Sky.
No, I'm trying to remember what I was. But see, No Man's Sky also suffers from procedural generation.
Yeah.
And for people who don't pay attention to procedural generation, like I'm not even that far into it, but I actually pay attention to a lot of it. Like when you brought up RimWorld, that's one of the games I've looked at from afar with complete fascination because of the proc gen in it. Yeah. Same with like Dwarf Fortress or Ultima Ratio Regum. Like these are games that It's not like Spelunky where you're procedurally generating a 3x3 tile set of rooms. They're procedurally generating like worlds, cultures, religions, NPCs, like everything. So, and knowing like how far those games have come, and they're still nowhere near the kind of graphical intensity that No Man's Sky is. Because as far as I know, they're still pretty like 16-bitty at best.
Yeah, I mean, when you're bringing up No Man's Sky, like if you were to look at what Sean Murray said was in the game versus what ended up being in the game at launch, I don't think he ever like he just seemed to me like he was always super excited about his game.
Exactly.
Here's what I want to put in. Here's what I want to put in, and then reality sets in. Oh, we have how much money? We have how much time? And they had to cut that. I don't think he ever really meant to like purposely mislead people. I understand why people felt that way because it was a huge list of stuff he promised was in that game or said was in that game that ended up not being there. And it's there now, but it wasn't at launch, right? So it's I mean, if my to answer kind of the question, I think the preview. The whole thing with previews is just really hard to do. I think some definitely do. Again, the question said disservice. Maybe, but I think, as you were saying, like it's all about trying to sell people on this game, get those pre-orders going, right? So I think that's kind of hard to do in an era where you have 6,000 other games vying for your attention span and your dollars, right?
Yeah, and a lot of it is like I also think that we as gamers tend to get overexcited too.
Oh,
and that is not limited to just gamers. I mean, I don't know how many times, like when I was still like hardcore into movies, like people get overexcited for everything. Everything. The hype is very real.
There's a lot of disappointed people when Chinese Democracy came out.
Yeah, they've been waiting. They've been waiting for a long time.
Yeah.
Unfortunately,
hopefully they drank their free Dr. Pepper.
But like it's also like that's why I've gone to great lengths to like not play demos, to not get overexcited. Like if I'm in on a game that I know I'm going to buy, I'm done looking at content for it.
Yeah.
That way I'm not getting. I can say this is why I want this game, and that's it because of what they've said.
I'm like that with Days Gone, where I saw enough of the early showings, I decided to pre-order it. I don't want to see any of the other stuff because it's a story-based game. I don't want to know anything about it because a lot of times they'll show little things from the game that are kind of spoilery, but without context you don't know it. And then when you're playing the game you'll remember like, oh, that guy dies or whatever, right? And so I try to avoid looking at a lot of that stuff. I think we were talking a couple shows ago about how it's kind of fun to take a chance on a game, and sometimes it ends up being something you love. So Days Gone is an example of, I saw some previews. I have not checked out any previews since the first time it was shown at E3, where they showed it twice in the same show. Do you know what I mean? I have not looked at it since then. I decided this looks fun to me as someone who likes zombie games and like The Last of Us. It looks cool. I'm in. I don't want to see anything else for it.
Yeah, the preview's coming out for that right now though, because the embargo was lifted, the preview embargo. I mean, no spoilers or anything from them, but like, seems pretty positive, which I'm hearing a lot
of negative.
Really? I've heard a lot of positive things.
Yeah, I've seen all positive, like a lot of from the stuff that I've seen, the headlines anyways, a lot of people saying they've really improved this game from the last time I played it. And I've avoided reading them, but in terms of the headlines I've seen, they've all been positive that, from my limited scrolling for it.
So okay. I'm kind of with you there, Phillips, though, because I kind of want to play it. Like, just from what I've been hearing and stuff. I want to play it, but I haven't really I didn't dive deep into the Game Informer cover story or anything. I didn't watch videos on it or anything. I just, I don't know, man. So,
Moose, your thoughts?
I think sometimes I've found as I gotten older, I try and control the hype, and I've done a better job of controlling the hype. Just because disappointment can be soul crushing. But that's in life in general. But video games like Watch Dogs, you look at what they showed originally and then what the game came out. And in all honesty, a lot of the developers are probably just trying to put out the best game possible they can for you. And they just throw it on a PC, try and get those pre-rendered graphics, all that prettiness. And it's there's no way this is going to run on current gen consoles.
Yeah.
No.
Isn't there a patch? Someone put out a mod for Watch Dogs which makes it actually run on PC like it was supposed to run in the demos.
I think Watch Dogs 1 was kind of a victim of they weren't quite sure what the specs were going to be for the next gen consoles.
Yeah, and that's
It
understandable.
ended up being unrealistic for that game at that level to run on this hardware.
Yeah,
With the CPU, the Jaguar CPU that's in these systems. So, I don't think it was necessarily malicious. A lot of people do.
it didn't run very well on Wii U. I'm going to let you know that right now.
I'm not alone in that case.
Well,
I feel like it's just previews. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad, and it's almost like getting to the point where you're taking chances on previews. I took a chance on the Neo Alpha, got it in the Alpha, was in the beta, loved the game, pre-ordered the game, loved the game.
Mhm.
I'm not saying I was disappointed by No Man's Sky. I enjoyed what I played of it, but I tried to temper my hype with that. But now, hell, if you go out there, Phillips, we've had this conversation when No Man's Sky came out, and you're like, man, I'm just going to wait, see what happens. Right now is the time to buy the game.
Oh, yeah.
That next patch that they put out is basically what the game should have been. And it is amazing, and it's a blast. It's a blast to play. So you just gotta. It's hard not to get excited about some stuff. I'm pumped for Division 2, and it's hard not to get excited for that. But for me, my expectation is just give me more Division 1 with a refinement, with a couple. Give me some quality of life upgrades, but then also give me end content that's meaningful to me. Don't just give me Dark Zone, and then I'm like, well, I don't want to play Dark Zone because this guy's done nothing but played for a week straight. I don't have time to play it 9-10 hours a day every day for a week to get that gear. And so you put me in a game with him and he's whooping my ass, and I'm like, this is not fun. This is why people leave the game. And so it's okay, give me a better end game. Let's have those raids. Let's have stepped motions to work towards stuff. If you want an MMO, make look at WoW and try and make that work. But I think previews can be good, but also previews can be bad.
You can't bring up WoW without me asking, are you going to be playing this with me anytime soon? Because WoW Classic's coming out, man.
I know. I want to play WoW Classic. Although I cannot imagine playing a Paladin prior to the Burning Crusade fixes. Oh, God.
It's going to be so good.
A DPS Paladin?
No. And you're talking about you got to wear the dress if you want to heal as the Paladin back then.
Yeah, the dress was the best.
Oh, yeah. It's going to be good, man.
So
What a bunch of nerds.
Yeah.
It's almost like it's the name of the show.
Anyway.
Speaking of wearing dresses, in Dark Souls, I will be a character that wears a dress and carries a gigantic fucking sword. It's great.
Especially if they make that Dark Souls MMO or Battle Royale one.
Yeah, that would I would let that I would play that and I would see what they do with that formula, but I don't think it's gonna happen.
That would be if they could somehow get that working, like Dark Souls with 100 people playing on that map, that would be unbelievable.
That would be brutal, man. I mean,
Oh man,
I can't even imagine
the
like
lag
how difficult that. Yeah, the lag
and
basically.
just
right?
dudes
how-
like rolling like crazy. It's a pain in the ass when you have
you're
like
just gonna see all these lag stabs happen at once. Oh, it'd be good.
like you just have a problem with like freaking one invader, yet alone, having multiple hundreds. Whatever.
Casey also mentions like day one patches and DLC and everything. I just like to address that like DLC day one DLC tends to be a fucking misnomer a lot of the time.
Yeah.
Like I remember when Evolve came out, and like and I think I was one of maybe the 10 people that actually liked Evolve. But there were a lot of people just railing on it about DLC. And I'm like, what DLC is there? And so I went looking for it, and all it was cosmetic stuff that you could pay for. And I think what was it? Was it Boogie 2988 or whatever?
Yeah, Boogie.
Like he made like a 25-minute video just going off about how this was terrible. I'm like, no, that's actually not terrible, because I feel like that's kind of where games are going. Like they're gonna have a lot of cosmetic shit that you could just buy.
Cosmetic shit doesn't bother me. What bothers me is if I pre-order a game and they're like, pre-order the special edition, you get this mission on day one. Like I don't like that.
Oh yeah, that's bullshit. That's
that I don't like, because I'm already buying your game. Its content is clearly made, ready to go. Like charge me more for it if that's how much the game is, then just charge me that for the game. Like, you know what I mean? Like if you guys have to raise game prices, okay, but like I don't like having to buy the game in chunks. Right?
Yeah, and then Deshaun brings up that character from Mass Effect 3 who was only in it if you pre-ordered.
Yeah, it's
Javik, I think it was, or Jarvik.
Yeah.
The budgets are so expensive now. Like to make a AAA title, the budget is so astronomical, and the game prices have not gone up. So it's obviously they need to make money somehow. But if that means that games are $70, make them $70. And I don't have like it's just. I mean, it's hard. I'm not in the nitty gritty of the business side of it, so.
Yeah.
A lot of things are going to like I do the EA Premier service where you subscribe for a year. Like I don't own any of these games, but I get everything for free. I don't have to pay for any DLC or the games or anything, right? So I mean, EA are definitely going that route. Like they are pushing people hard, at least on PC.
It seems like Xbox is trying to move that direction too.
Yeah. So I mean, it's it's weird. Like especially for us who've been playing games a long time, like it's changing a lot for sure. And I just don't like being gouged, basically.
Yeah.
Right?
Do you feel there's going to be a crash soon?
A crash? I don't think a crash. No, I mean the industry is evolving like so fast, and it's so hard to predict.
Because I don't feel like EA and Activision can sustain. Like they constantly want these life as service, or these games as service type.
Well,
and
I think Activision is in a worse shape than EA, because EA at least has their sports games, which kind of keep them.
The Star Wars game that's coming out is apparently just a single player game. They're showing that in April. What's it? Respawn's game.
Yeah, Fallen Order.
Yeah,
I don't think a crash will happen. At least not in the way that we're associating, because there's not a lot of people just putting out shovelware out anymore. Like there are games that come out and they're bad. Fine, we can all admit that.
Yeah,
but no one's going to put out a bad, like a deliberately shitty game. Actually, that's a bad statement because that happens too. But no one's going to put. I was going to say no one puts out a deliberately shitty game to make money, but
Like,
then you look at your phone and you realize, oh yeah, iOS exists.
Crash, but like the industry can certainly shift a lot. For example, Xbox is working on streaming. Google's working on streaming. We may come to a point where like you don't have to buy a console, right? Like you just you don't have to buy dedicated hardware. You can just play all your games on your phone or your whatever, your TV.
Yeah, TV has an app in it.
Built in to your TV. You just have a Bluetooth controller and you play that way. So I think like
the industry will change, and those who don't adapt die. Like that's what's going to happen.
I still feel like moving towards a streaming service relies significantly on our shitty ass infrastructure.
The U.S. doesn't have good enough infrastructure for it to be widely adopted yet.
Yeah, that's the problem.
Yeah,
I don't think streaming is going to hit this gen. It'll probably hit the following gen. Like this gen will be where Microsoft, the next one, I mean, is what I'd say, is when Microsoft will really start pushing for streaming. I would severely doubt it that Sony isn't already looking at trying to evolve and adapt PS Now into a better streaming service than what it is, giving you a little bit more bang for your buck, trying to improve that network. But I feel like if you're going to rely on the internet, it's just not going to work. Like I really don't think it's going to work.
Not for everything, no. Like not for like a fast-paced shooter or something. Like at least on currently the way technology is now, you need to have that running locally on your system, whether it be a PC or a console.
Yeah. Anyways.
Yeah. No.
I don't think we really answered that question. That's okay.
Well, no, we did. We did. I think
we veered off, but that's okay.
It
wouldn't be us.
Welcome to the show, Captain Canada.
We had our own conversation around the topic.
I mean, the question was, do we think pre-release and preview content does a disservice? We answered that. The second part about DLC, we addressed it. I feel like we did all right. And if we didn't, Casey, let us know. As for Moose's question about crashes, who could say? But also in the chat, Deshaun asks, what do y'all think about that Google controller?
Looks like somebody decided the Ouya controller was a good idea and made it a little bit smaller.
Yeah, seriously.
I've realized that my opinions on controllers are often not the popular opinion. For example, I hated the GameCube controller. And a lot of people talk about that like it's the pinnacle of controllers.
It's trash.
I hate it. I hate that controller, and I hated the N64 controller too.
No, the N64 one's bad. I think the GameCube controller felt great in my hands at the time, but I'm also retroactively remembering that.
I mean, it looks better than the Ouya controller. I'll give it that. Okay.
I mean, to be fair, these are just renditions, I think, off of the patent.
Yeah.
But
do you remember that like PS3 one of the
boomerang?
Boomerang, yeah. And then there was one that split apart.
Yeah.
I want that boomerang special edition controller someday.
Yeah, there was one that split apart. Now look at the Switch.
Yeah.
Basically the same thing. Look at the PS4 controller. It's kind of a boomerang shape.
There's a really good meme out there of someone looking at a Wii U, the Wii U game thing, and it's like, and then they show like the Wii U thing with the controllers off of it, and they're like, amazing.
I hate the Wii U Pro controller, man. It's not good for anything except for virtual console games and 2D platformers. Those sticks, man, both of them high. It's just awful.
I think the Switch Pro controller feels great. I just don't understand how for that price it doesn't have analog triggers and a headphone jack. I think that's ridiculous. But in terms of
have you heard of a company called Nintendo?
That's true. Like, again, but I think in terms of I think that's a really good controller. And if it had those two things, it would be my favorite controller on the market.
Yeah, I've heard the Switch Pro controller is really good.
Don't worry, they'll be revising the Switch and probably the controllers this year. So
But I will tell you this: the 8-bit do Famicom controllers,
Lit.
pretty good. And as Moose
Are
says,
they lit AF?
They are lit AF. They are lit AF. Okay, so
Moose,
that's all.
will you please find a shirt that says lit AF and wear it on the show at some point?
We'll make him one. I really liked the Genesis controller. I'll be honest.
Which one, the 3-button or the 6-button?
I liked it.
6-button. I don't remember. It was at my friend's house. I would go there to play sports talk baseball.
Yeah, sports talk baseball.
Oh, so good.
The line of the shields.
Joe Montana
Best player in
football
the
was
game.
good too.
Yeah,
And
Joe Montana
I
football's
thought
good
that
too.
was a good controller. So long as it doesn't hurt my hands, I'm fine with it. Pretty much. Like that original Nintendo controller, like gave you arthritis just holding it.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So many blisters.
Yeah.
So many blisters.
Nintendo thumb, right? And so that's the only controller I've really used where like it was unusable. Not as an adult, anyways. As a kid, it was fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's it for questions this week. We're gonna wrap it there. I'm going to before we close out the show, I'm going to bring everybody down.
I don't like that. Go away.
Well, I got some bad news today, and I just want to talk about it. Because you're my friends, and I feel like I can open up to you guys. My grandmother, who suffered some health issues last October, went back into the hospital. She is now in hospice. That's the last update that I have, and I just want to say goodbye to my grandma Jean. Rest in peace.
Sorry to hear that,
Gonna
man.
miss ya.
I'm sorry to hear that, Matt.
I'm glad though that you have this outlet to talk about it.
Yeah, well, it's funny. Like she's, it's weird. It's like she bought me a lot of games as a kid, so she kind of helped contribute to this. And yeah, I would just like to say rest in peace to my grandma. I wish I could be in Iowa with the rest of my family right now, but I can't because I'm here. But yeah. Bye, Grandma. Love you. This has been episode 136 of Nerds Gone Rogue. My name is Matthew Keel. Sorry to bring y'all down. You can find me at infinite_rewind on every social media platform in this world. Moose, where can we find you?
You can find me at Svhenn on PSN, Instagram, Twitter, and Twitch. You can also listen to me, Jason, and Jeff chat about the PlayStation platform. Tuesdays we go live, usually around 9ish, and the video and the audio go up Thursday mornings at 7, where we Nerds Gone Platinum, where we chat about PlayStation. We are starting tomorrow. We are giving, if you listen to the show and listen to the contest, we're giving away 2 codes for Days Gone, and they're not. They'll be whatever region you're in. So listen, look for the video, and in the contest, we are going to announce the winner the Monday before the game launches, so that you can get the code and have it all loaded and be able to play it the day it releases. You could tweet us at ng_platinum, or you can email us questions, comments, and concerns at nerdsgoneplatinum@gmail.com. That's it.
Phillips, you're a Nerds Gone Rogue exclusive. Thank you.
I
for
am.
being here.
You can find me here, and we're tossing around ideas about doing some more content, possibly music related.
Yes.
So,
Possibly PC related.
well, yeah, like I'm interested in doing that stuff. I don't know how much of the audience is interested in PC, but if that's something that people want to hear, you can.
You're not on Twitter, but Deshaun
yeah.
has said you should do a PC
People are
show.
interested in it. I'm fine with creating some PC focused content, and I definitely want to talk about music. So it doesn't have
You
to be.
mentioned that too, believe it or not.
It doesn't have to be just records, because I love music. So we're exploring those options, and but they'll all be on NGR. So you'll find me here.
Yeah.
Corey, take us home.
You can find me at CoreyinHD713 on Twitter, and you can find me on Instagram and Twitch at CoreyinHD. You can find me on Nintendo Pow Block, where we're giving away Yoshi's Crafted World for Switch the week before it comes out, whatever that Tuesday is, before it comes out, because it comes out that Friday. And yeah, the instructions are in the show, so I'm not going to read them here too long. You can also find me on various other content here on Nerds Gone Rogue. I'm trying to figure out what I want to do instead of what I need to do. So some things are changing around here, and hopefully we can. My whole thing that I had conversations with everybody was I want us to start being more about quality instead of quantity, and kind of lost that vision sometime last year, and I kind of want to get back to it. So I'm kind of refocusing my end of things places, but Matt and I had a long talk last week about it. So it's some things are changing, but hopefully for the better. And with Phillips coming on board and Arsenal X going its own direction and everything, like I think we're in a good place now. And of course, I put a new project on myself by giving us a new look anyway. So. But anyways, you can find Nerds Gone Rogue every Monday at 7 a.m. Eastern Time, all edited and prettied up, or you can join us live on YouTube and hopefully soon on Twitch. I'm working on a few other things there because of Google Hangouts, it's going to be a little bit more difficult to do that part, but I'm working on it. So look for us there soon, twitch.tv/NGR Radio. And you can find all of our stuff on ngrradio.com. And thank you guys so much for watching. And until next time, we love you.
I'm taking a break from the normal outro, and I'm just going to say, love your family, love your friends, give everybody hugs, be kind to one another. Have a good one.